This episode of Weekly Weird News is sponsored by Stitch Fix and by ExpressVPN.
It's Independence Day weekend here in the United States, and that means a lot of things.
America's back.
Barbecues, beers, bombs.
Yeah.
And while fireworks are nice to look at, they can also be quite dangerous. They are literally bombs, after all. Things can go very wrong, even for the professionals. I mean, the best example of that would be the legendary 2012 San Diego Bay 4th of July fireworks show, which was supposed to be 18 minutes long, but was over in 15 seconds due to a glitch that just set off all the fireworks at once.
Yeah.
At least in that case, no one was hurt, though. Just disappointed.
I don't understand why they were disappointed. They got the show of a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it would have been pretty cool seeing 7,000 individual fireworks go off all at once.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But things can go very dangerous when the people setting off the fireworks are drunk, amateurs, and they don't know what they're doing. And/or the fireworks themselves are cheaply produced or faulty, or there's a lot of points of failure with fireworks.
And just to be a sourpuss, it's also it's bad. It scares the animals, and it could cause fires.
Yeah.
But to demonstrate just how dangerous fireworks can be when misused, the U.S. government's Consumer Product Safety Commission has, for the last few years, released annual fireworks safety videos demonstrating potential firework accidents with mannequins. The videos usually include a lot of talking in between the good stuff, but last year, probably because of COVID, they decided to just release a supercut of previous demonstrations with no narration and with very minimal text. And also a sweet synthwave soundtrack over it. We showed this to you last year, but hey, look, it's fun. It's the 4th of July. America's back. Let's show it again because it is that good.
That was great. And also, the song they used is part of the YouTube free music library, so I didn't even have to change the song out.
There you go.
But yeah, the US CPSC...
They need to work on their name, because every other, anything the U.S. does has an acronym.
FBI, CIA,
or
FTC,
has something that
SEC.
You can, like SCUBA, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
US CPSC, they do know what the people want, aside from a more catchy name. And what people want is destruction. And it's a year-round job for this agency to give the people what they want. At Thanksgiving, they released videos showing what can go wrong with deep frying big frozen turkeys. A lot can go wrong.
Yes, it's when you put cold things into hot oil.
Yeah. Gonna have a bad time. Christmas time, they released videos showing how fast an unwatered Christmas tree can go up in flames compared to a properly watered one.
This time of year, you actually do see a lot of videos of people who have been, people who live on land or have a small acreage. A lot of people, especially I remember growing up, did this. They would save their Christmas trees in the back, specifically for summer, and have bonfires at night.
Yeah, can't do that here.
It is, I'm sure you've seen videos of that, but it is intense.
Yeah, they go up real fast.
Instantly.
Yeah, and even when there isn't a holiday happening, the US CPSC does stuff like crush child-sized dummies under falling furniture to show the importance of anchoring furniture to walls. Look at that kid get crushed. They're also one of the only government agencies that's worth following on Twitter for both their very important product recall notices, but also the utterly insane memes they post, which are either the work of boomers trying and failing to understand the language of memes, or the work of the greatest meme smiths alive, who are operating on an entirely different level.
Yeah.
Maybe a mixture of both.
But anyways, the reason we just showed you the USC PCS's 2020 video and not their 2021 video is that at least of when we're filming this, there is no 2021 video.
Yeah, they look like there's gonna be.
Well, they perfected it, is the problem. And
it's all there.
They're the one government agency that's like, Why would we need to waste money making another one when we've already created perfection?
They have done a great job shitposting on Twitter this week of just like GIFs from their previous demonstrations, like, don't do it. And it's like a flaming arrow like going into the head of a mannequin. It's great.
In any other year, there would have been at least a video by now. I don't know, so we don't know what's going on. Luckily, though, the brave men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department answered the call, and they created, inadvertently, their own fireworks safety demonstration to show everyone just how dangerous these things can be. This, by the way, is completely by accident and seemingly due to serious negligence.
Yeah, they didn't intend to be a cautionary tale, but they were.
Yeah.
So as is the case in most major cities, fireworks are illegal here in Los Angeles, and that's for a lot of very valid reasons.
Yeah.
Like the fact that things catch on fire very easily here. But fireworks being illegal doesn't mean there aren't any fireworks. There's quite a few.
A lot. If you get on top of if you have the ability to get on top of a rooftop in the city of Los Angeles on 4th of July, you'll be treated to the most spectacular fireworks show you've ever seen because the entire city is setting off mortars.
Yeah, there's drone footage from previous years, and it's insane, and it goes on for hours. But anyway, on Wednesday, the Wednesday before 4th of July, the LAPD, they received a hot tip about thousands of pounds of illegal fireworks being stored at a home in South LA. We got ourselves a big bust, boys. So they sent a bunch of officers, including the bomb squad, out to the scene. And they made sure to tell all the local news stations to come on by, roll those cameras, see your men and women in uniform in action.
We've had a bad PR year.
Yeah.
We've had a bad couple of decades of PR.
We don't always look so good in the media when they cover what we do.
So let's have a fun one.
On account of us, we don't have to get into it, but, so it would be great if all of the news companies just came down with their vans and watched us carry out this elite operation where we dispose of a bunch of harmful, illegal fireworks in a very safe, professional
thereby
manner.
Saving the city and its citizens from potential
Making
fire.
Making sure harm does not come to the people that we protect.
We are here to serve and protect, and we will do that.
We are going to demonstrate that a thin blue line exists between chaos and order. And we are that thin blue line.
We are the LAPD.
So yeah, not only were they going to be confiscating a whole lot of fireworks, this is the kicker. They would also be detonating some of those fireworks on the scene in a specialized bomb disposal vehicle. This is a vehicle I've seen a bunch of times on the highway and never understood exactly what it was for.
Wherever that's going, I'm happy to be going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it's a big 18-wheeler with this spherical, I'm assuming steel ball with a tiny opening in it. And I guess they put bombs in it and they can blow the bombs up inside and it's not gonna cause destruction. Or that's how it's supposed to work. Yeah. That didn't quite go as planned in this case, and thanks to all those cameras, we've got a lot of angles of what ended up happening next. Have a look.
Windows just got busted out. Oh my gosh.
Okay, not great.
Ooh.
Yeah. Here's the LA Times. A major explosion in South Los Angeles on Wednesday evening damaged homes and injured 17 people, including police officers, as a bomb squad attempted to safely detonate improvised explosive devices that had been seized from a home, along with about 5,000 pounds of illegal fireworks. The blast damaged cars in a residential neighborhood and left debris on the streets, video on social media showed. A truck that was being used to collect the explosives also appeared to be severely damaged. At a news conference, Los Angeles Police Chief Michael Moore said officials responding to a home on the 700 block of East 27th Street had found several thousand pounds of illegal fireworks as well as improvised explosive devices that were, quote, more unstable. An LAPD bomb squad transferred the improvised devices into the iron chamber of a semi-truck that's meant to contain such explosive material, he said. Police detonated the devices at 7:37 p.m., believing that the vehicle would be able to contain the explosion. But there was a, quote, total catastrophic failure of that containment vehicle.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Clearly, protocols were followed and pursued, but something happened in that containment vehicle that should have not happened. And we don't know why, the chief said. We intend to find out why.
We're on the case. We're on our case.
We're sending our top men.
Yeah. So what's especially insane about what happened here is that even though police say they confiscated thousands of pounds of fireworks, so you see this explosion, you're like, yeah, it looks like thousands of pounds of fireworks going off. No, less than 10 pounds of explosives were actually put in the detonation chamber of that truck. It was just a small amount of what they described as the improvised fireworks. In other words, homemade fireworks. And I'm assuming homemade like M80s, basically, as opposed to the rest, which were actually like commercially manufactured fireworks from Mexico or whatever. So yeah, turns out explosives are dangerous, especially when they're homemade. Still though, the question of how less than 10 pounds of improvised explosives managed to completely destroy a truck that is designed to be able to safely detonate up to 18 pounds of explosives is unanswered. Something went horribly wrong.
It's because they've been leaving all the residue inside from the previous explosions.
Yeah, the resin, they're taking resin hits up in that.
Because yeah, if you clean it out, that's all the flavor, baby.
Yeah.
You're scraping out all the flavor. You don't want to do that.
Could be.
It's like cleaning a cast iron with soap. No. Anyways, there's a lot of people that are now asking why the hell this planned detonation was done in the middle of a residential street, and why more effort wasn't put into either evacuating the area or, I don't know, going to a parking lot with no cars or anyone around.
Yeah, nearby, just not in the middle of the street, like next to parked cars.
Take it down to the LA River. It's all concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah. The LAPD's answer to the first question is that clearly these explosives were so volatile that transporting them elsewhere would have been even more dangerous. Which, I mean, yeah, it seems plausible, I guess. Rolling down the highway and this going off would have been a bad idea.
They kept saying, they're like, well, what if it went off in the 405? And it's like, it's a weird example because you're nowhere near the 405. Sorry, local talk, but like...
Oh, well, all you had to do was jump on the 110, head over to the 10, and headed over to the 405. Or
they were actually much closer to the LA River, which would have been a very safe place to do
and
this.
A cool place to do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, they also say that they went door to door through the neighborhood before the detonation, telling people to evacuate, but not everyone answered their door. I wonder why. Can't imagine why people in South Los Angeles might not want to answer the door for the police when
to say?
They've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, weird that the people in this area of Los Angeles that
are hesitant,
historically has suffered the greatest abuses by police, maybe would see cops outside their house on their street and just pretend to not be home.
Imagine though you're in your house and you're like, well, fuck, I'm not answering. I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And I have generational knowledge of how the LAPD treats people in this neighborhood. I'm not going to answer the door. And you're like, all right, cool. You sit down, you put your story back on, and
your lazy boy falls onto his back. Very
Joe!
But yeah, it doesn't sound like even the people that they did successfully evacuate, like they didn't tell them why. They just said, you guys got to get out of here. Like, seems like at the very least, they should have gotten out like a megaphone or something and be like, just anyone who happens to still be around nearby.
Plug your ears.
We're about to set off some bombs, so you might want to, get out of here at the very least. Maybe lie down in a bathtub. Definitely plug your ears. It's going to get loud. If it's successful, a little bit of a boom. If it's unsuccessful, you may die. Just letting you know.
Oops.
So yeah, obviously this incident, it went horribly, horribly wrong. And it demands answers. What happened here? Now luckily, this incident though is under investigation by the LAPD. And police are notoriously good at investigating and dealing with their own negligence, especially when it harms innocent people. So we look forward to their thorough and untainted analysis of what went wrong here. In all seriousness, though, while the LAPD definitely fucked up here big time, this does, again, demonstrate just how dangerous a few pounds of fireworks can be. Fireworks, especially when those fireworks are literally just miniature bombs. The dumbest kind. Like, that's, and the most annoying kind, too. Like, shooting off, like, miniature mortars, like, they're loud, but they're at least pretty.
Yeah.
Like, half the time when people are setting off fireworks in neighborhoods, they're literally just throwing M80s in the street. And it's like, it went boom again. It went boom.
A long time ago when I was a young teenager, which I think is far beyond the legal reach of Florida, we would drop mortars in the top of porta potties. And sometimes they would shoot back up, and sometimes they would just blow the bottom out of the porta potties.
Yeah. Wow.
It was 20 years ago. So.
And the statute of limitations is 30 years. You are under arrest. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah. Blowing shit up in Florida is part of growing up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I figure that makes sense.
Yeah. Meanwhile, though, if that didn't satisfy your appetite for destruction, down in the Gulf of Mexico, they had their own little fireworks show this week. And by fireworks show, we mean a ruptured undersea gas pipeline literally set the ocean on fire, and it looked like it was from a disaster movie. It looked like
CGI from like a fucking Roland Emmerich movie.
Look, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, you look at it and you're like, wow, I felt helpless yesterday, but today I feel even more helpless.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Underwater
I'm sure
version.
someone's keeping an eye on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why this happened, and it'll definitely never happen again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the ocean being on fire is a pretty surreal concept, and video footage of the scene, it is very surreal. It literally looks like a disaster movie or a cutscene from a video game. And when the footage started going around Twitter, both Cthulhu and Godzilla were trending topics on Twitter.
Anything that happens, I need to be able to describe via media.
Yes.
That I've enjoyed.
How can you explain this to me in pop culture references?
Explain this to me in pop culture, please.
There were also comparisons to The Lord of the Rings, Eye of Sauron, so there you go.
Yeah. The best description, I think, for it would be, a gateway to hell.
Yeah.
It looked like a gateway to hell.
Yes.
Anyway, later, another video came out showing how this fire in the middle of the ocean was being dealt with. 3 fireboats spraying water onto the fire, which was in the water. I mean, it makes sense. It's not technically the ocean that's on fire here. It's the gases that are escaping out of the ocean. But it still feels very absurd that the response to what looks like the ocean literally being on fire is to put more ocean on it.
Yeah, but that's what.
But it works.
What's funny about that is how absurd it sounds coming out of your mouth. But that's exactly how it's going to be explained by politicians who are like, "Well, okay, let's be honest with the American people. The ocean wasn't on fire. It was the gases from a ruptured gas pipeline escaping the ocean that were catching fire."
Yeah, the ocean sorted the problem out itself. We just had to throw a little more ocean on it.
We prayed about it, and
yeah. But yeah, throwing ocean on the ocean fire does seem to have worked.
Yeah.
And the fire was put out within just a few hours. As for effect, what effect this massive gas leak might have on the environment, I mean, I would assume not great, but also probably not that big a deal in the grand scheme of everything else going horribly wrong these days.
Yeah, toss it on the pile.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, literally, there's a hurricane coming and plenty more coming right behind that one because the season goes to like
Hurricanes
October
are great for putting out ocean fires.
Yes,
so.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Nature sorts itself out.
Nature's own little sprinkler system.
Yeah, and nature's going to sort itself out with us really soon. It tried last year. We were too damn strong.
Yeah.
But it's coming for us.
It's coming.
It's coming for us. Moving on now, though, we've got several updated stories to things that we've previously covered, starting with a story from a few weeks back. Italian artist Salvatore Garau, I'm butchering that, selling what he called an immaterial sculpture, a.k.a. an invisible sculpture, a.k.a. literally nothing, for 15,000 euros at an auction. This was ridiculous enough, but now things have gotten even more ridiculous now that Florida Man is involved. And Florida Man is very upset because Florida Man says he came up with the idea of an invisible sculpture years before that Salvatore Garau did. Now let's read from ArtNet.
Earlier this month, an Italian artist named Salvatore Garau went viral when his immaterial sculpture, that is, a work of art made of literally nothing, sold for 15,000 euros or $18,300 at auction. Articles about the sale were shared widely, often accompanied by captions of the "I could have done that" variety. Users posted pictures of blank spaces, their own invisible sculptures which could surely be had for a fraction of Garau's price. Many bemoaned the fact that they didn't think of it first. Then there was Tom Miller, a performance artist from Gainesville, Florida, who says he actually did do it first. And now he's filing a lawsuit against Garau to prove it. The Florida artist says that in 2016, he installed his own invisible sculpture in Gainesville's Bo Diddley Community Plaza, an outdoor event space. He titled it Nothing and erected it over the course of 5 days with a team of workers who moved the blocks of air like mimes building the Great Pyramid of Giza. Tens of people were on hand to see the opus unveiled that June.
And they all clapped.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Miller even commissioned a 21-minute documentary about Nothing, which clearly shows that he was way ahead of Salvatore Garau when it comes to invisible art.
And his invisible sculpture is much larger.
Mm-hmm. Miller told local news outlet WCJB20, quote, "When I saw that, I thought, that's exactly my idea. And ideas are important in the world. And recognition for those ideas are important. So I simply wanted that attribution. So I contacted him. He dismissed it away. and then I hired an Italian attorney.
Hired an Italian attorney. We're going to take you down in Italian court.
Thing is, though, as many have pointed out in the past month, this concept is nothing new in the art world. Decades ago, artists such as Yves Klein and Tom Friedman exhibited art that was essentially just empty space, and composer John Cage famously composed a musical piece titled 433, which is just 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence.
Yeah, so at the very least, Tom Miller's take on this concept of invisible art is a lot more self-aware and tongue-in-cheek than Garau's or any of these other ones. That documentary about nothing that he made, it's really more of a mockumentary. Makes fun of the pretentiousness and absurdity of the contemporary art world. So everything he's doing now with the threats of legal action and comments in the media, it's itself just an extension of his original art piece from 2016. I mean, there's plenty of nothing everywhere, but this guy's nothing, and Salvatore Garau's nothing. They are, in fact, art, specifically because people are talking about them. Mm-hmm. And now the art continues through this legal saga over who, actually came up with the idea of nothing being art.
Yeah.
Really makes you think.
Sure.
That's what art's all about.
Exactly. Now here's another update to a story from way back in January that we kind of forgot about. Remember Soho Karen, real name Maya Ponsetto? The young woman first made the news when video footage of an incident from December started spreading, showing Ponsetto in the lobby of a New York City hotel having a meltdown and accusing a random black teenager of stealing her iPhone, and even trying to physically attack that kid. The incident would have just been the latest in a never-ending line of Karen videos showing white women acting entitled and arguably racist in public. But for some reason, Maya Ponsetto decided to do an interview with CBS This Morning's Gayle King, which drew a lot more attention to the situation due to Ponsetto acting so unapologetic about the whole thing, especially her hat. Here's
Daddy.
Here's just to refresh your memory, here's a clip.
Basically, I'm a 22-year-old girl. Racism is, how is one girl accusing a guy about a phone a crime? Where is the context in that?
Mia,
what is the deeper
Mia,
story
it's
here?
not. That's not the problem. You have to at least understand your actions that day. You seem to have attacked this little boy, this young boy, this teenager. You seem to have attacked this teenager about the phone, and then it turned out he didn't even have your phone. That's the thing. I mean, you're saying, look, I'm 22 years old. You're 22 years old, but you are old enough to know better. So I will say you're 22. I get it.
Enough.
Yeah, certainly a character. But not long after that interview aired, Ponsetto was arrested and charged back home in California for the incident in New York City and was flown back to New York to be arraigned on charges of attempted robbery, endangering the welfare of a child, attempted grand larceny, attempted assault, and resisting arrest. She also made the news again when it was uncovered that she had had multiple other recent brushes with the law, including 2 DUI arrests and a public intoxication arrest, with one of those DUI arrests being caught on video and showing her acting exactly how you would expect. She also allegedly trashed an Airbnb apartment earlier on the same day as the Soho hotel lobby incident. So
was it like, didn't her lawyer drop her after that interview too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this,
I told her not to wear the hat.
It doesn't always work out with every client.
Yeah. Anyways, for the latest on Maya Ponsetto, here's NPR. A California woman who wrongly accused a black teen of taking her phone at a New York City hotel late last year and grabbed at him as he tried to leave is now being charged with a hate crime. Mia Ponsetto was arraigned in court in Manhattan via video conference Wednesday and pleaded not guilty to charges including unlawful imprisonment as a hate crime, aggravated harassment, and endangering the welfare of a child. Ponsetto was at the Arlo Hotel in December when she got into a confrontation with a teen, 14-year-old Keon Harold Jr., whom she accused of stealing her phone. Video shows her grabbing at him as he tried to get away. Her phone was found soon afterward in an Uber.
So yeah, she's been charged with a hate crime. Seems pretty serious.
She seems like the type of person that absolutely does not fucking care.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
She's not going to go to jail, right?
I mean,
you would hope.
I think she should maybe spend a couple months in jail to just get some perspective on her life and her sense of entitlement.
I don't know. I think she's old enough that it's already ingrained.
Yeah, she needs to be humbled. Someone needs to break her back and make her humble.
Break her back metaphorically.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I think that this is only going to embolden her further.
Well,
she's going to become a super Karen.
That's why I want her to see a little bit of jail time. Not a lot, if this puts her in prison for like years and years, I think that's probably ridiculous. But she should see some consequences because she just gives off the vibe of someone who's never seen consequences for anything she's ever done.
This would be a good case of if for some reason there was the ability to have a breakthrough with a therapist, I think that could actually help her more than anything else, where it's just like, why don't you take a step outside of yourself for a second and realize that you are not the main character of a story in this universe.
I feel like a lot of people could use that perspective as well.
I've had to go through that in my 20s. I was a fucking maniac.
I'm the main character.
Yeah.
I'm the protagonist.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on now. Here's a much darker update. So on the most recent Tech News Day, we talked about the very bizarre heat wave that pushed temperatures throughout the Pacific Northwest into record-breaking territory, including a new heat record for the entire nation of Canada, 121 degrees Fahrenheit or 49.5 degrees Celsius in the village of Lytton, British Columbia. Well, as if that hellish temperature weren't enough, things actually got much, much worse for Lytton immediately after we talked about it.
Yeah. Lytton is basically gone. Wiped off the map by an extremely fast-moving wildfire that seems to have resulted from the unusually high temperatures. Within about 10 minutes, 90% of Lytton was on fire. Hundreds of homes up in smoke, at least 2 people dead, but that number could go up once the damage is fully assessed.
There's a lot more missing people.
Yeah. It's just awful news and a terrible reminder that this kind of extreme weather has deadly consequences. Now, if you want to help the people of Lytton, there's a GoFundMe page set up featuring verified fundraisers. We'll leave a link to that down in the video description. So, yeah, that's very bad.
Yeah, I mean, and this kind of shit's going to continue as long as the temperatures keep breaking records. That's how fires happen.
I think that the final push towards changing the United States to the metric system and to Celsius is going to be when politicians
It'll make the temperatures go low.
Yes, yeah. It's only 45 out.
Yeah. That's cynical, but it just might work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's a real downer, but we do have some laughs coming up for you in the headlines half of the show.
Good, I need some yucks.
Before those yucks, though, this episode is sponsored by Stitch Fix. You're ready to get back outside, but your closet says otherwise. Ew. Mm-hmm. Get some much-needed style updates with the help of Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix offers clothing hand-selected by expert stylists for your unique size, style, and budget. Each piece is chosen for your fit and your life, and it's the easy solution to finding what makes you look and feel your best. Try on pieces at home before you buy, keep your favorites, and send back the rest. Stitch Fix has free shipping, easy returns and exchanges, and a prepaid return envelope is included.
There's no subscription required. Try Stitch Fix once or set up automatic deliveries. You'll pay just a $20 styling fee for each box, which of course gets credited towards the pieces that you keep. And there are no hidden fees ever. Stitch Fix has styles and clothing to fit any occasion for women, men, and kids. They ship all over the US and the UK as well. Get started today at stitchfix.com/weird and you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That is stitchfix.com/weird for 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. stitchfix.com/weird.
And this episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Using the internet without a VPN is like taking a phone call on speakerphone in the middle of a crowded bus for everyone to hear. Don't be that guy.
It's annoying.
Everyone needs a VPN. ISPs like Comcast and Verizon know every single website you visit, and they can sell that information to ad companies and tech giants who then use your data to target you.
A VPN puts a stop to that by anonymizing your traffic, but we use ExpressVPN because it's fast, trustworthy, and easy to use. ExpressVPN creates a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so people can't peep on your online activity. Fire up the app, you click one button, boom, that's it. It works on phones, laptops, even routers, so everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can be protected.
ExpressVPN is rated #1 by CNET, Wired, and The Verge for good reason. It's so fast and reliable that you won't even notice it's turned on. And that whole time it's protecting your data from tech industry vampires who want to harvest it. It's also great for watching content that might not be available where you live. You just change your ExpressVPN location and suddenly that's no longer a problem. Secure your online activity by visiting expressvpn.com/weeklyweird today. That is expressvpn.com/weeklyweird, and you can get an extra 3 months free. expressvpn.com/weeklyweird.
All right, now into the craziest, weirdest, wildest headlines from around the world this week, starting with another America is Back story. Can you believe it?
Yeah, another update.
Elliot, what's the headline?
Man who jumped from a moving plane at LAX tells FBI he bought a lot of crystal meth before the flight. So this last week, it was, this guy jumped out of a plane. There wasn't a lot of, it was just like, hey, this happened. There's no reason why, no background, and this actually explains a lot.
Yeah.
This guy, he had come from Mexico, and he was trying to get to Salt Lake City, and he flew to LA.
Was he on mission?
No, I don't know. But he had tried to fly from LAX to Salt Lake, but like couldn't get a flight. So he just kept going to downtown LA and staying in hotels and doing crystal meth that he bought on the street, and then coming back to LAX and trying to catch another flight, but like missing him. He missed his flights like 3 times, probably due to all the meth.
Yeah.
And he finally got the flight he was looking for, but now he was coming down from like 4 days of straight like 24-hour meth usage, which made him very paranoid. And he thought he heard someone on the flight saying that they were going somewhere other than Salt Lake City, even though they were definitely going to Salt Lake City.
We're going straight to hell.
But he misheard them, and he's like, well, I got to get off this plane. And so he went and opened the door and jumped out. And he broke his leg in the process, so he's trying to crawl down the tarmac, trying to get to his real flight. Didn't get far, though.
Well,
So that explains a lot.
yes. Priest launches acid attack on bishops during hearing into his cocaine use.
They get wild there in the priesthood. This
Yeah.
this is a priest in Greece, and they caught him with a bunch of blow. So they brought him to the church version of court, and he showed up with bottles of sulfuric acid that he was swinging around like holy water.
Mm-hmm.
They said like no one got too hurt because like he was just sort of whipping it around like that instead of actually splashing it in people's faces.
Yeah.
But I do love the image of just
The power of Christ compels you.
splashing
Let me
around
go.
acid.
Do my cocaine.
Yeah.
I'm up saving people for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
All hours. You expect me to do that naturally?
I'm sorry. The cocaine just makes me a lot more charismatic
Yeah.
when I'm
I can
preaching
chat it
the
up with
good
anyone.
word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
You want
God.
to hear about fucking Jesus? And people are a lot more willing to talk about Jesus when I give them mounds of cocaine.
Yeah.
What if there is a God? Well, you want to be on his bright side,
It's
don't
a
you?
very effective
Conversion method.
evangelical method. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just give people cocaine, lots of it,
Yeah.
and then get them talking about the Lord, and they get very excited.
That's what that snake venom does. Swing around the snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never touch a snake, but if you gave me enough cocaine, I might consider it
Yeah. There you go.
for the Lord. Australian-themed restaurant criticized for posting job advert for Sheila with nice bazookas.
What is this, like a Hooters in Australia?
It's an Australia-themed restaurant in Britain,
Oh, okay.
which sure. But
Seems pretty weird.
They posted a job listing on Facebook. They were looking for a Sheila with big bazookas,
Yeah.
or however you would say it.
Mm-hmm.
And people were offended, particularly women. They thought this was offensive, and they were just like, it's just lads having a banter.
Yeah.
Come on, you'd never make it in Australia if you think that's offensive, you cunt.
Yeah. And your bazookas aren't big enough for us anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
how they operate down there.
Mhm.
You have to have big tits to work at a restaurant, and it's just
Those are the rules.
the UK just can't understand the cultural difference.
Sorry, old man. Australia's the future.
Get out of the way.
Britain's the past.
Yeah. Florida doctor accidentally performed surgery on wrong testicle, report says.
Ugh.
Oops.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't like removing a testicle. So that would be bad.
What do you just like get them wrapped up down there? Get them untangled?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what caused this, but the surgery, it was like treating like enlarged veins or something. So the patient still has 2 perfectly good testicles.
Okay, that's good.
This wasn't like you hear about amputate this leg and they amputate the wrong leg and then
they still got to amputate the other.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
So
Thank
they still
God.
got 2 working testicles and probably like a 10% off coupon for the next surgery.
But yeah, this doctor is now potentially in some big trouble over.
Joke's on you, I'm not even a real doctor.
Yeah. Is that Dr. Love Robinson?
I'm actually a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Anyways, bye.
Try and beat me. British engineer stacks just 5 M&Ms, claims Guinness World Record.
Some guy in Gainesville is going to be like, I fucking stacked 5 M&Ms. Where's my award?
It sounds very silly, but again, I'd like to see you try it. Like stacking any M&Ms, they're round.
Yeah.
How are you going to get 5 of them to stand on each other?
There's someone on TikTok that's already done it. I guarantee it.
I mean, this guy
Now, here's
posted his on TikTok.
Are you doing it naturally, setting it on top, or are you allowed to put it in like a little like wooden or cardboard thing?
No,
and
this
then,
guy,
like,
he
move it?
posted his video, and he did it like one by one.
There's lots of those videos of people doing like the trick shots with like cards and ping pong balls and stuff like that. There are world records being broken every day.
Yeah, Guinness, we've talked about this. All the relevant records, they've long been filled.
Well, and you have to like literally sign up and have some guy come out and be like, yeah, he did it. He stacked the 5 M&Ms.
Yeah, which country was it? Turkmenistan.
Mm-hmm.
The leader of Turkmenistan got obsessed with Guinness World Records and just started breaking like just non-existent records.
But like paying to have them filed?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And it generated a lot of, I think John Oliver covered this, it generated a lot of controversy because it's like a pretty repressive country.
Mm-hmm. Focusing on the wrong things, you think?
Yeah, possibly.
Fugitive arrested in Mexico after giving fake name of another fugitive.
God damn it.
Oh.
No, sir. It's not me. My name is
John Smith.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, I'm Ted fuck.
But so here's the conundrum. If you're a criminal whose crimes are theoretically worse than the criminal whose name you gave, do you serve their shorter sentence and then go free?
Yeah. Well, in this case, the opposite was true.
Mm.
I don't remember what exactly the guy...
Hey, you got me for those burglaries. Murder? What? No, I never killed anybody.
It was vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah.
He had killed 2 people in a DUI accident. And so the guy who actually did that is still a fugitive. But this guy used that guy's name. They're like, holy shit, we got him. It was actually horrible for the family of the victims
I'd
because
imagine.
they got excited after like 15 years. They're like, we finally got him. And they're like, okay, actually, not exactly.
I mean,
We got someone else, though.
could be worse. You could live in America where the family just is like, oh, the person that killed my family member is rich? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that happens, too.
Yeah. Yeah, someone I knew got killed by a drunk driver who was rich and they got away with it. Because they drove away, and they parked their car, and they went in, and they're like, no, I wasn't driving.
Yeah.
And you can't prove that I was drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
it's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Wyoming man calls to ask why he wasn't arrested, is arrested.
It's another meth story.
How could this have happened?
He called up the cops. He's like, hey, I was just wondering why I wasn't arrested. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, when you guys raided my place yesterday, why didn't you arrest me? And they're like, sir, we didn't raid anyone yesterday. What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, sure you did. You raided my house. Why didn't you arrest me? He's like, so assuming we did raid you, hypothetically, what would we have arrested you for? Well, all the crystal meth I've got. I do a lot of crystal meth. They're like, huh. Where did you say you lived again? And seen.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So it sounds like this man's guilty conscience was his undoing.
They should give him, a bit of credit on the potential charges.
He should go to jail, but he should also get the reward for, conducting a citizen's arrest of himself.
I don't even think he should go to jail. I think he should go to a clinic where he can get clean.
Yes, that, obviously, yes. In a just
Maybe
society,
it was a cry for help.
It could have been.
Yeah. Please. The only way I'm going to be able to kick this shit is if you fucking physically take it away from me.
You do hear about that happening. It's
Yeah.
very sad. California high school has championship revoked over tortilla throwing incident, which sounds like just a silly little
food fight.
Yeah,
until you realize who the target was.
This was they threw tortillas at a team like where 90% of the players were Latino, and very seems a bit racist on its face. They claim that they were borrowing an old tradition from Santa Barbara or UC Santa Barbara. They're like, yeah, we just did what they did, but that's not even true. Like, I think the UCSB tradition from the 90s was they would throw tortillas after the first point that they scored, not at the end of the game as a celebration like this. I don't know. In either case, great job. They won the local CIF championships, and now they're having it taken away for some dumb racist bullshit. Potentially, allegedly racist bullshit.
Yeah. I'm sure there was people on the team that had or didn't even make the connection. They're just like, yeah, it's just fun because we're like, it's something they did, now they're doing it, and it's just like, oh yeah, taking one step back and looking at the overall
does look pretty bad.
This actually looks a lot worse than I thought it could.
Well, it was also, it's like, this was Coronado High School in San Diego. It was just like super fucking white area.
Yeah.
So yeah, does look pretty bad when you when you look at it that way. Whoops.
Ducks invade neighborhood. Not everyone quacked up about it.
This is like not even a story. I think whoever wrote this for like the fucking Associated Press just needed to let off some steam with a a fun headline.
That's the thing is like, man, everything's so, the ocean's on fire.
Yeah.
Canadia's burning down.
Can I get some light local news, please?
Yeah. It's like
maybe some animal news.
You know, Veronica Corningstone was very upset about having to cover the cat fashion show.
Mm-hmm.
These days, I'd love to see a cat fashion show.
I would take a cat fashion show over anything.
Yeah.
Right now. So yeah, ducks invade neighborhood. I'm not too quacked up about it. Boom. There's your story. That's something that you might see that Jim from The Office put on his Good News show if he was still doing that and hadn't sold it for $1 billion.
The funny thing was, like, I remember last time we covered that, it was like, by the way, this idiot didn't even make another episode. And then, like, the next day an episode came out, and I was like, well, I look like an asshole now.
Wow.
So now that means that there's a new episode coming out because we made fun of it again.
Yeah, good. Well, all right. GOP senator says roads and bridges are a woman's problem because women do the shopping. And this guy was actually supporting the infrastructure bill. He was like one of the few Republicans. He's like, guys, we need to just, like, this is important
For
stuff.
the ladies.
We need to, you know, cross the aisle and side with President Biden on this one for the infrastructure bill. Like my wife always says, roads and bridges, it's pretty boring stuff unless you're a woman who's out doing all the shopping and buying ingredients for cooking dinner and taking kids to school. So maybe that's how we pitch this to our constituents. Pitch it to the wives by telling them you'll be able to do your shopping a lot quicker. It's just like...
It's safer, yeah.
It's the weirdest fucking way to frame this. It's like, we all kind of use bridges, sir.
Yeah.
Men drive cars too.
I'll be damned if I'm going to have my car taken away.
Yeah.
Look, whatever gets it done. You see what's in Miami? Like there's already another building. Where
Yeah,
like, get out. This is going to be a massive problem. They're going to start looking at every building and be like, oh yeah, of course this is unstable.
They're inspecting. It's like all this fucking property, anything built in like the 80s and 90s, Miami is probably going to have to be torn down.
Yep.
It's real bad.
And it's going to take years to like reinforce what is crumbling.
Yeah.
So, look, maybe you should have done this, as we went along instead of just waiting till some catastrophe happened.
And that's not the American way.
Mm-hmm.
The American way is to pretend everything's fine until it isn't.
Yes.
And then have a disproportionate and not very focused response to the problem.
The American way is to profit off of something for as long as humanly possible and hope that you die before anything goes wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, brother.
Aggressive crows with excellent memories are attacking students at a Nova Scotia university.
They really are smart.
They're very smart.
They have great memories.
They've got one yelling at us right now because we brought it up. I can hear it.
Yeah. If they don't like you, if you piss off a crow,
there it is.
They will follow you around. They'll dive bomb you. There's a great old video. I don't even know how you would search for it. I guess woman attacked by crow. Mm-hmm. But it's this woman, she did something to piss off these crows in a neighborhood, and she was like on her bike, and she had like a GoPro with her. It's just these crows attacking her and her freaking the fuck out, like having a hilarious, it's understandable. If this was happening to you, you'd probably freak out.
Also,
too.
Crows could definitely do some damage to you.
They got those big beaks, yeah. They're very smart animals, though. And I guess this college in Nova Scotia, they got an aggressive batch of crows there that don't take too kindly to people. They're like, don't wear anything shiny on your body. The crows will try to steal it.
Yeah, because they'll steal it and then they'll give it to someone that they like.
Yeah. They're like, wear a hat, maybe an umbrella. Take different pathways. Fuck with their sense of
I always
time.
talk to the crows in my neighborhood. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on their good
Everybody.
side. Yeah. The crows and the squirrels, they're great.
Yeah. And squirrels are okay.
I had an adorable squirrel. I mean, it sucked because it was so hot out that I had to do this, but adorable squirrel found some shade with concrete and just laid like this, full flat. It was the most adorable looking thing, but it was because it was trying to reduce its body heat by covering it with a colder area.
Yeah.
Adorable, but also sad that it had to find shelter from the heat.
You should have given it a little bath.
I put a dish out with some water in it, a big bowl.
Yeah. It's good. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Hope you're having a happy 4th of July, or if you live in another country, a happy Sunday. And if you haven't already, news dump. We talked about Robinhood and how they might be in big trouble, though probably not.
Mm-hmm. Same with Trump. Big trouble, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And then on Tech News Day, the episode about the Pacific Northwest heat dome and how alarming it all is.
It's like the heat dome is slowly moving east too. It's like Montana and Idaho are really getting it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boise's 110.
Boys!
All right, bye.
Bye.